guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. I do upload every other day, so I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel. And today I have a very exciting video. We are going to be testing out the Glamlite ice cream palette. This is their pastel palette, and I am quite the avid Glamlite collector, so it only made sense for me to grab this palette, and I feel like it was destiny because once I got done filming this look, I was like, what earrings am I going to wear? And I was like, oh my gosh, I can wear my little ice cream earrings. So if you guys want to know where these are from or where anything I have on in today's video is from, please go ahead and check the description box down below. Some of those links may be affiliates, so I will earn a small commission if you use my links to shop. So just letting you guys know in advance, and if you decide not to shop with my links, that's totally fine as well. Anyway guys, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to swatch the palette and show you guys how I created this look. So without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I did open this palette up and show you when I was filming the demo, but this is like the little PR box that I think some people were able to get if you ordered like fast enough or whatever. So here is what the inside looks like, and then the palette just sits in here. If you don't want to lug this thing around, you can toss it. I'm probably going to keep it because I store my cake palette also in this packaging that it came with. I will show you guys that in a second. And then as far as the palette itself, here is what it looks like. It's got this really beautiful shiny ice cream cone. The tie-dye goes with my shirt. I didn't even realize I was going to get this palette today. I thought it was going to come on Saturday when you guys are watching this video, so I am very, very excited. There's some really fun sprinkles in here, and they like move around because they're like suspended in a clear little plastic there. And then on the back there is a little description. It says, "Ice Cream Dream, the most delicious ice cream palette is fresh out of the freezer and ready to be served." So there's 30 shades in here, and they're all ice cream inspired. The ingredients are on the back. It also says this is 30 eyeshadows at 1.4 grams or 0.5 ounces. And the product is made in China, assembled in the USA, and it is cruelty-free and vegan with an 18-month shelf life. So I'm so excited. Let's get into some swatches. I am wearing the palette on my eyes today, so I'll show you guys how I did both of these looks. This is what it looks like on the inside. There's a big old mirror. You can see my whole mess that I created making this look. And ooh, it falls all the way back, which I love. And then you have these beautiful, beautiful shades. Now let's get to swatching. So the first row is all mattes except this white shade. So we have chocolate, black cherry, red velvet, pumpkin, and French vanilla. And there are the swatches of the first row. One thing Glamlite never disappoints with is the pigmentation. Usually their shadows are very, very pigmented. So here is the next row. It's another very much what I would call a neutral row. So we have butter pecan, salted caramel, raspberry, rocky road, and pecan praline. So there's the next 5 shades. Okay, so here is the third row. We have 4 shimmers and 1 matte. So we have taro, gelato, cookie dough, lemon, and peanut butter. So there is the third row. Some of the neutrals do look very similar when you kind of just look at the swatches, but honestly, I'm not that mad about it because I like a bigger palette, and like this one is big, but you know, it's still smaller than like the Be Perfect palette, so it's not like overly oversized like a big Morphe palette, you know? It's like a decent size. It's like a Violet Voss palette size, so I'm not mad that there's that many shades. And so these are the first 3 rows. Now I'm gonna swatch the more green and purpley tones, which is the part that definitely caught my eye when I saw the promo pictures. So the 4th row is all shimmers, and there's 4 colorful ones and then another neutral. So there's the 4th row swatched. Oh, and then let me tell you the shade names. So we have strawberry, blueberry cheesecake, birthday cake, cotton candy, and strawberry cheesecake. I'm kind of shocked that strawberry cheesecake is a neutral. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to have like a bright red shimmer shade in the palette, but oh well. And then we have the next row. This is all mattes except Rainbow Sherbet. And that has a little bit of like orange in it. When you swatch it, you can't really tell, but if you look at the pan, it has that like orange woven in. So let's swatch. So there's row number 5. So the mattes definitely didn't swatch very well, but they were really easy to work with on the eyes. So let me see if I can just build it up just a little bit, just the pink and the purple, so you guys can see what the shades look like a little bit better. So there they are, built up a little bit. And so the shades are Mochi, Honey Lavender, Mint Chocolate, Rainbow Sherbet, and Orange Cream is that last shade. That's a little bit hard to see, but it's right there. It's kind of like my skin tone-ish. Okay, and then here is the last row. It's all mattes. We have Bubblegum, Pistachio, Cookie Monster, Green Tea, and Mango. So there is the last row of swatches. And those are all matte shadows. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you guys see real quick. Here are the swatches of the entire palette. If you guys want to pause and check them out, please feel free to do so. This is on my tan skin, and my foundation shades are listed down in my description box in case you guys are wondering if we have similar skin tones. And now that you guys have seen these swatches, let's get into how I created these 2 eyeshadow looks. I was one of the people that got the limited edition ice cream truck, so it's really cute, and I'm gonna have it like on display somewhere in this room. And then the palette is just set in here, and so this is actually the packaging. And I think a lot of us were really excited when we saw that they were just doing a square packaging. So look at me. I actually got ready for work today. On my eyes was the Charlotte Tilbury palette, but I quickly took it off because I want to play with this palette. And then I'm going to touch up my face makeup that I have on from earlier today. And I will give you guys the final thoughts and swatches and all that stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know what I was doing, but here's the packaging. It's so cute. I know my lights are really blowing it out, so I'll show you guys in a little bit, but woo! Oh my god, it is like a color lover's dream. I'm so excited, so excited, I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. Okay, I really want to use the shade Mango, Green Tea, and probably Birthday Cake on my lids. I'm gonna do like blues, I think. I'm so excited. This is like one of those palettes that really lived up to my expectations as far as how it looks. It looks really fun and colorful, so I'm gonna grab I want like a tapered blender like this. And I think I'm just going to start off with putting green tea in my outer corner. And I did use the P. Louise base to prime my eyes because I want to give these pastels the best shot they have. Now I know Glamlite eyeshadows are typically very pigmented, and I know the owner of Glamlite said it was very important to her that every skin tone could use these pastels. But let's be real, that's what every owner says about their pastels. They all claim that they have the best pastels. Doesn't always mean it's true. And I know some of you watching don't think that a white base is important for pastels, or you don't think that tan and deep skin tones should have to use a white base to make pastels work. And I do tend to agree with that statement. But honestly, I personally can't make a lot of lighter shades work on me without a white base, especially pastel matte colors, and this formula is doing really well with this white eye base, so I'm not even mad about it. Oh, gird. Actually, I was gonna do like a yellow inner corner, but that blended in so well all over the lid. I think I'm gonna do like my shirt, I'm gonna do blue and pink, and I think it's gonna work out really well. So let me grab another little blender. I'm gonna grab this one, and I'm gonna go into the shade called Mochi, which is a beautiful light pink. Oh my gosh, I'm about to have so much fun. That's showing up pretty nice too. Okay, so I'm gonna go into bubblegum now, just to kind of deepen up the crease. These are doing so well. I am so impressed so far. This is crazy. Wow, I love how that color showed up. Okay, so for the blue side, I want to deepen it up a little teensy weensy bit. So what I could do is go in, there's like a dark brown in here, but I love to be able to use the same color mattes. So I'm gonna grab a darker blue eyeshadow and just add a little bit in the outer corner to give it some dimension. And for that, I'm gonna go into my Be Perfect palette because there is a really good blue in here. I'm just gonna take this brush and go into the shade Lagoon. I could also probably do this with one of the other Glamlite palettes. I think the Cake palette has a blue very similar to this. And you see, it's just giving it a little bit more dimension. Wow. That is so nice. Am I allowed to say that about my own makeup? Like, oh, that looks so nice. And then I want to add a little bit more depth. So I'm going to go into the deep, which is this blue. And I'm just going to add that on the very outer corner and blend. I love to give myself a little bit of a dark shadow because I think it just gives the look a little more dimension, if that makes sense to you guys. And then I'm going to go back into this one, and then there in the pink, there's this shade called Raspberry. So I'm going to go in with the same brush and grab Raspberry. And again, I just want to give the outer half some dimension because I think it really is flattering on my eye shape when I have a little bit of depth on the outer crease. And then I drag that in and blend it into the inner half. This one isn't really bright enough to stand out with the light pink, so I'm going to try Black Cherry, which is a darker pink. So let's see if that works. Oh yeah, that's, ooh, it looks like cotton candy. Oh my gosh, I love that. And then I really would have loved to have like a deep matte purple, but I don't have one in this palette, so I'm going to go back into the Carnival palette and go into probably the shade called Blackberry. What are the chances? I'm just going to use the same brush, and I'm going to focus that on the outer half and just grab some color, and then I'm just going to stamp and wiggle my brush in my crease. Do you guys see it's building some depth? Okay, I'm going to grab a little bit of the pink in here. I know you guys are probably like, Karen, this is supposed to be a Glamlite video. I know that, but if I have to reach for another palette to get the exact look I want, I will. So there's that. Oh my god, I love both these eyeshadow looks. Ah! Okay, let's see here. So there is a beautiful French vanilla shade. I think that's gonna look gorgeous on the brow bone, but I kind of want to also put a little dusting of a shade on my brow bone to get rid of the white shade to cancel it out. So I'm actually reaching for this palette. This is the Sigma Holiday palette. I saw this on their website when I ordered my Stephanie Lange or Lange palette, and so I just grabbed it. I don't think this is on their site right now at the moment, but this is their holiday palette. So sneak peek on that. But what I like to do is take a shade that's very close to my skin color and use it to cover up any existing white. Cover up my white base just to help. so that there's not like a stark white line. And then I'm going to switch back to the Glamlite palette. Now that I've covered up the white base, I'm going to grab the same brush. And I'm going to go into French Vanilla. This is just a nice fat eyeshadow shader from Wet n Wild. And I'm just going to hit the brow bone with it. This one definitely feels like a topper, actually. Ooh. I don't know if that's going to pick up on camera, but that's going to be a pretty eyeshadow topper as well. Okay, guys, now for the fun stuff. We're trying to determine the lid shades. Oh my gosh. I think I definitely want to use Birthday Cake on this side. So this is actually a concealer brush from Morphe from back in the day, but it works so well for eyeshadow. So I'm just going to try it without wetting the brush first. I just want to see what kind of pigmentation I can get. Okay, so it's pretty light. I honestly love to like amp up my shadows, so I'm just going to spray the brush quick. Ooh, this is so pretty. It's like a sheer green gold color. That is so pretty. Can you guys see that? I hope you guys can see that. I wonder if this formula would work better if I just use my finger. Okay, I'm going to try the shade. So Birthday Cake is this green shade right in the middle. And then for the pink side, I'm going to try the shade Blueberry Cheesecake, which is this beautiful lilac purple. Oh yeah, that one's building up way better with my finger. So I just need one more clean flat brush. This one, and I'm going to grab more Blueberry Cheesecake. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm living the fantasy right now. Holy smokes. Okay guys, this is it. I think I am going to touch up my makeup and I will be back to show you guys the final look. Okay guys, so here is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed my little eyeshadow look demonstration. So hopefully you guys learned something about it. But really quick, I just want to tell you guys what else is on my face. So for eyeliners, these are the Profusion eyeliners. I found this at my local Walmart. I really like these. They're easy to apply. The only thing is they can hit your lashes and then your lashes kind of stick together. So that's totally happening on the pink side. Blue side, no problem. So those are the two liners on my top lash line. And then on my lower lash line, I have these LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliners in 2 shades. I use Electric on the blue and Pop on the pink. I don't really love these eyeliners. I know a lot of people love these eyeliners. They just don't glide on in my waterline as easily as I would like them to. But I have a bunch of colors, so just thought I'd mention that because I don't really review a lot of like everyday things that I use when I do my makeup. So on my lips is the shade Pink Pachyderm by Menagerie Cosmetics, and they did send this over, but I do really like this color. I think it works really well with this kind of wild eyeshadow look I have, let's be real. So I had a lot of fun playing with this palette. I think it's so nice that Glamlite did do some of their wild kind of iconic packaging, but they still gave us a nice rectangular palette that you could just easily store, which I think is going to get a lot of people to try this palette. Now I do want to get into some comparisons, show you guys some of my existing collection and how it stacks up against this new one. Okay, so I did have these ready to go. So this is my Miracle palette. I got this in my Try Beauty box. It did get a little bit bumped on the way here, but here is what it looks like. And honestly, I don't use this much because of the tragic accident that happened to that palette. So I'm not really going to talk too much about it. I'm going to just stick to the food theme palettes I have. And we love the Tahoe palette because it has some beautiful green shades, some beautiful popping purples. I'm sure if I started swatching these, I would be able to find dupes in this new palette, but let me just show you guys side by side. You probably don't need this palette if you have all these other palettes that I have personally, but I mean, how could I have said no to an ice cream palette? It would have been tragic. So I really like the Glamlite formula. I think their metallics are beautiful. They're bright. The mattes are opaque. They blend really nice and easy. This is my favorite palette. I love the Burger palette just because of all the beautiful greens in here. Again, this green shade I think would be very similar to like the pistachio shade in the ice cream palette, but the color stories are different enough where I can justify having both of these in my collection. Now here's where I think it's gonna get a little dicey. I think the Cake palette will definitely have similar shades, so let's see. I do keep my Cake palette in its little oven. It's so cute. So here is what the Cake palette looks like if you haven't seen it. And then here are the shades. So let's see it next to the ice cream palette. You see there are a lot of similarities, like those pinks. I don't think it's that revolutionary of a color scheme. I seriously think if I start swatching this palette next to the other one, we're gonna find a lot of dupes, but I already bought the palette, so I really don't need to do that. But if you guys have the Cake palette, you probably don't need another colorful rainbow palette, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so this is the one I think is gonna be the most duped by the ice cream palette. This is their donut palette. I think this came out like a month ago, and I did film a very similar eyeshadow look actually with this palette. So you can definitely do a very similar look to the one I have on. Just go watch my donut video, you'll see it. But this is what this one looks like, and here it is next to the ice cream palette. Okay guys, so now that I've given you my comparisons, I'm just gonna give you some quick pros and cons. I think the pros for this palette is I love the packaging. I love that they made the outer packaging like fun and wild and crazy, but then the actual package that the palette and the eyeshadows are housed in is much easier to store. So I think that'll make it really appealing for a lot of people. I love the aesthetic of the sprinkles and the clear. I mean, it's the details, you know, they really put some thought into it. I love the tie-dye, it's super on trend. I love the big mirror. I love the fact that the palette folds backwards like this. And then what I really like is some of these pastel shades. I haven't really seen like the shade Cookie Monster and Pistachio too much in their palettes. I know a lot of their recent palettes, it seems like it's very pink and blue heavy. So if you're not into pinks and blues, you probably don't want this palette. But I think this is fun. I could definitely see myself reaching for this at Easter time or in the spring. And I know this palette was delayed, I believe. So we're in fall and we're all thinking of like grungy colors. And I'm like over here thinking of the Sigma Untamed palette. But I'm still also having a lot of fun playing with these. And it's not quite like winter here yet, so I can still kind of like wiggle these in. So I'm really excited. I like the formula. It's very similar to what Glamlite usually does. So if you know you like Glamlite's formula, I think you'll be very safe getting this. Now, my cons would be the similarity to things like the Cake palette and the Donut palette, but if you don't own anything from them, that won't be a huge issue. The other thing that would have been fun, I think I would have loved if they split this palette up into two, because I feel like there's two different color stories here. They're not clashing because I can see like, you know, butter pecan, I get it, but I would have loved if they did like this half of the palette as one. Like even if they just kicked Strawberry Cheesecake out and put lemon down here, I feel like that would have made like a really fun, cohesive pastel color story with 15 eyeshadows. I think they could have done like this color story as like a waffle cone. So like a chocolate waffle cone type palette and just done 15 shades, making it a little bit smaller. But honestly, overall, I really like this palette. I'm so glad I picked it up. Is it repetitive? Yes. But honestly, I have so much repetition within brands, within different brands, just because I have a massive eyeshadow palette collection. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with my purchase. This palette actually makes me smile and it's just really fun. It's so fun. It brings me so much joy. So that is it for my first impressions on the Glamlite Ice Cream Dream Palette. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments. You guys know I love talking to you down there. And I will see you guys in my next video on Monday. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe so you can catch more videos from me. And I will see you soon.